In this video, I'm going to get you caught up to the progress of the woodshop build to where it's at right now. Then, each week on Sunday, I'll give you an update on what was done that week. I'll take you back to the beginning really quick. We built the house 11 years ago, my son and I, and the plan was to build a shop right here, much smaller than this, but a shop right here, and I was going to build trim and furniture and all that stuff for the house. Due to all kinds of stuff, that never happened, but we're there now. Last year, in August, we started the dozer work to build this massive retaining wall. That was the only way we could get a building this large on our land. The building is 36 by 48, and the shop will start right here. I'm going to be putting a wall in right here, probably in 3 weeks or so. The building of this massive retaining wall and the shop itself, all of that stuff is on video. That's all on Planet Mojo. And we're continuing the massive retaining wall in the next couple days. Look at those boulders that were pulled out of there. The building was completely dried in on December 10th last year. There were issues with the doors because of the supply chain and all that, but it was dried in by then. And I started the insulation process, and this is where it got left off. As soon as summer hit, I had a ton of stuff to do outside, so this got put on the back burner. Now I'm back on it, and I need to get this place completely done this winter. If you want to look on the Planet Mojo channel, you can see how I did all this insulation, but basically I use these insul hold strips and push the insulation on there, get it taped up, and put the girts in front of it. I got the propane line. This is fastened to the back of these girts, goes up, and it goes right to there, and I tested it. It passed the test with flying colors, but I still haven't taken the gauge off that. I'm going to take the gauge off that in the next week or so and see if it held pressure this entire time. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be hooking up the main electrical. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it or not, but there's a pipe coming out of the ground. That's not how it's going to go, obviously, but that leads to right here. I'm going to get this all connected temporarily, and I'm going to be putting the wood wall behind that. That should be a pretty interesting project. I'll be figuring out where to punch my hole through the wall there for the furnace. The furnace is going to be hooked up right there, and I have to put the flue through the wall there. I also need to get the propane to the furnace and electricity. Also on this wall is going to be a mini split, so I have to figure out exactly where that's going to go, cut a hole in the wall for everything to go through, get the insulation on, poke through the insulation with a chase for all the stuff, get the girts on like here, and then make some bracing to mount the thing. That's going to be a fairly complicated project. Then, once I have the plywood interior wall on, I'm going to run the electrical through that out to the outside and put a disconnect out there. That's going to be a pretty involved project, and I got to get it done real soon. Here's my punch list for that upper area. I also need to run, once I get the box in there, the electrical box, I need to run a heavy cable up and over, and that's going to come to right here. I'm going to divide the electricity into two so it's easier to wire. That'll be pretty interesting as well. Run water lines. We have an office going in over here. Just a ton of stuff coming up. This is the little furnace I'm going to be installing. Believe it or not, this little thing will heat the place just fine. Like I said before, I got to figure out how to get this flue through the wall up there and how to get my propane down to here. The wiring should be pretty easy. I'll just use BX on that. I've already done videos on my weird woodworking machine there. I cleaned this machine up and put a Helix cutter head on it. There's a video on that. I will be doing a video on this, getting this all cleaned up, putting a digital readout on it, and putting a Helix cutter head on this as well. But that'll have to wait until the shop is done. We're kind of in a hurry to get this done. We got to get it done before the real cold weather hits. So make sure you subscribe and come back each week to see the updates. And pretty soon we'll be building furniture out here.